Verse 12, O they apokrythis ipanavtis. And he answering said to them, Elias men elthon proton, apokathis panta. Elijah indeed, having come first, restores all things. And here he's talking about what appears in the last book of Malachi, the last chapter of Malachi, verse 5, Ke'ithu, and behold, I shall send to you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the Lord, the great and apparent, the one who shall restore the heart of the father to the son and the heart of a man to his neighbor, lest coming I strike the earth entirely. And this, he goes into more detail in Matthew 11 to 14. But here it's just, he says that, yes, Elijah is to come forth first and will restore all things. It doesn't say it was John the Baptist like he tells the men in Matthew. Ke pos gegrapte epi ton ion to anthropu. How it has been written about the Son of Man. In apola pathi. That many things he should suffer, pathos, suffering, ke exutheno the, and should be treated with contempt. So all these things have been said in the Old Testament about Elijah himself. Verse 13, Alla lego imin oti ke Elias elilithe. And I say to you that also Elijah has come. And as I mentioned, it was John the Baptist, and goes into detail in the 11th chapter of Matthew. Ke apis anafto osa Ithelis son, and they did to him as much as they wanted. Kathos gegrapte ep afton, as it was written of him. Verse 14. Ke elthon prostus mathitas, and having come to his disciples, Ethan oklon polin peri aftu. So now they've come down from the mountain, and here he's coming back to the rest of the disciples, and he beheld a great multitude. Oklon, we have ochlocracy, a rule of a mob, or ochlophobia, somebody is afraid of crowds. A great multitude around them. Ke grammatis sizituntus avtis, and scribes were debating with them. Verse 15, Ke evtheos pas o oklos, idon avton exatham vithi, and immediately all the multitude beholding him were astonished. Ke prostracontes ispazonto avton, and were running up to greet him. So they were excited, astonished. All the things that he was doing was amazing to him, and here he's coming, and they're running up to him. Must have been quite a sight. These people have heard and seen things that he has done, and nobody has ever even come. Nobody's never done any of the things that he had done, except for a few of the miracles some of the prophets of old had done. In verse 16, Ke epirotase tus grammatis, tis sizitite prosaftus. And he asked the scribes, what do you debate with them? Ke, verse 17, Ke apokrythis is ek tu oklu ipe, and answering one from out of the multitude said, Didaskale, inika ton iomu prose, teacher, didactics, has to do with teaching. I brought my son to you, echon ta pnevma alalon, having an speechless spirit. So here we have a speechless spirit. We'll go down to a pneumophile, and we'll see right down here in 6. We've had all these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're 6. A speechless and a mute spirit. Pneuma alalon, verse 25. A pneuma alalon ke kophon. So there's all these different types of spirits, and we'll continue with pointing these all out as we go along. Verse 18, Ke opu an afton katalavi risi afton. Wherever he should be overtaken, it tears him. Ke afrizi, and he foams. Ke trizi tus odontos aftu, and grinds his teeth. Odontics, odontos. Ke xirenate, and he withers. Cirrhosis, a dryness, cirrhosis of the liver. Ke ipon tis mathi te su, and I spoke to your disciples. Ina afto ekvalosi, that they should cast it out. Ke uk iskisan, and they prevailed not. Verse 19, Ke apokrithis afto legi, and answering he says to them, O genia apistos, O unbelieving generation. There the generation we have from this genia. You can almost see the transliteration there, from the gamma to the G, epsilon and ni. And he says, O unbelieving generation, Eos pote prosimas esome, for how long will I be to you? Eos pote anexome imon, for how long shall I endure you? Ferete afton prosme, bring him to me. Verse 20, Ke ininkan afton pros afton, and they brought him to him. Ke idon afton, and beholding him, Eptheos to pneuma esparaxen afton. Immediately the spirit threw him into a spasm. Ke peson epitis gis ekiliato af rezone, and having fallen upon the ground, he rolled, foaming. Was this an epileptic seizure, or was it something more? Goes on here a little and shows what it was. Ke epirotase ton patera avtu, and he asked his father, pater, posos chronos, for how long estin os tuto gegonen avto, how long a time is it that this has happened to him? The chronos, chronology, is a derivative. Kairos, time, also in the Apostolic Bible, but it's like for a season. O they ipe, peidiothen, he said, from childhood. Ke polakis avton, ke ispir evale, ke is idata, and often it threw him both into the fire and into the waters. Ina apolese avton, that it should destroy him. Al iti dinase, but if in any way you are able, voi thison imin, help us. Spalanknistis ephimas, be moved with compassion over us.